Time now for an in-depth look at the market news this afternoon, and for that I'm joined on the line by Mr. Daniel Yu, global strategist at Yuanta Securities. Mr. Yu, no doubt busy days for you. Thank you for making time.
Thank you for having me.
Well, before we get to the stock market carnage, oil prices, they've come up a little bit. They were down more than 30%. This is in large part on the outbreak of a price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia. Tell us about that situation and what's your outlook?
So, if you look at over the weekend, this was a result of disagreement between the OPEC and Russia. Originally, OPEC agreed to cut production by about 1.5 million barrels a day, but Russia did not agree with this process, and therefore, over the weekend, Saudi Arabia decided to increase production and lower the spot prices, and along with the concern about the coronavirus impact, the oil price actually crashed, the biggest level of drop since the Gulf War. If you look at the price decline, just 2 days, last Friday and also Monday, it declined from the peak about 40%. That is the steepest decline that we have seen. Clearly, this standoff between Saudi Arabia and Russia might last a bit while longer because one needs to give in to it. This standoff seems to be continue to be like a power struggle between Russia and Saudi Arabia. Maybe also it's part to do with the shale gas of the U.S. All in all, the lower level of the price for oil should remain for next few weeks.
Well, now, U.S. stocks, of course, took their biggest daily hit since 2008. When we were in the financial crisis, they were down an eye-watering 7 or almost 8%. A lot of panic right now. What's going on in the global markets?
Yes, as you said, the Dow and S&P and NASDAQ all down more than 7% territories. Small cap stocks were down actually 9% for U.S. This type of decline was not just for U.S. If you look at the Italian market, it was down more than 11%. All in all, this is because of the spread of the coronavirus. If you look at Italy, it has widest spread, and the countries are basically shutting down in terms of the borders travel. So the level of the additional patients have increased much faster speed, and actually now is number 2 after China, overtaking Korea's number. All this is basically resulting into the massive decline in equity prices, along with this oil price decline and the fight between the Saudi Arabia and Russia. The sharp prices decline was continuing for most of the countries, but as of today, we are seeing some recoveries happening, along with the European market recovering somewhere between 1% to 2%, depending on the countries. And also, U.S. futures market is showing about 3% rise for NASDAQ, and Asian countries, including Korea, Nikkei was up about 0.85%. Australia was up 3%. So, and China is also up very strongly. So these things are indicating that the markets are stabilizing, and also people are more looking into the possible boosting measures coming out from the various countries.
Well, if those markets are poised to rise, here in Korea today, we did see investors seem to maybe try and catch their breath a little. Stocks were up a bit.
Yes. As you said, the Kospi started with a fall at the beginning, but it has recovered and ended with about 0.42% for Kospi rise, and also a 0.87% rise for the Kosdaq. Now, U.S. came out with various boosting measures overnight. They talked about the tax deduction for the consumers, workers, also various other boosting measures on top of the monetary policies. So clearly, a lot of governments are doing fiscal policies as well. If you look at China have announced that they will be spending 34 trillion yuan worth of investment for their 5G and various other fourth industrial revolution related industries, including creating smart cities. So clearly, government, both sides of China as well as U.S., are aggressively expanding in terms of the fiscal policy on top of the monetary policies. Clearly, that is providing the reasons for the rise for these indices. As I told you earlier, Chinese market did very strongly today. Shanghai was up 1.9%, and also Shenzhen was up 2.7%. So clearly, this is the one change that we haven't seen in the last several days.
All right, Mr. Yu. Well, thanks so much for sharing your insights today. We always appreciate it.
Thank you very much.